Hey guys, it's time for another toy review here. This time I'm going to do a Star Wars toy, and it's the original Return of the Jedi Rancor Monster. This is the one that I had when I was a kid, way back in the day. So he's a little beat up, but we'll go ahead and take a look at him here anyways. There he is. He's basically the big giant Rancor Monster from Jabba the Hutt's Pit of Terror. And I actually like this toy. This is one of those toys I just kind of liked as a kid. I always thought the Rancor Monster was very cool looking when I saw Star Wars when it came out, or at least the Return of the Jedi Star Wars. And this toy's kind of cool. It's probably not, you know, that great compared to toys nowadays. It's very lacking in articulation, but I think it has a certain charm to it, and it just, it's a giant monster, and monsters are usually always pretty cool. But basically, let's run through here. Speaking of articulation, this is pretty much all you got. You basically could rotate his arms. They're kind of almost like a ball joint here, so it can kind of swivel in and out. You can kind of hear it. It's all creaking and falling apart here on me. And the wrists here, mine are kind of cracked and dinged up. They're almost ready to fall off here, but they could spin around, so you could have his wrist rotate. Both hands obviously could do the same thing, and the arms. And then the legs you could kind of bend, but they don't really amount to much because you can't bend them at the knees. So I guess the only thing you could really do is just kind of have them rear up like that. If you kind of hold on to the feet there like so. Let's kind of just move him here. He does have a little bit of a balance issue too if you get his arms out too far. And the tail here, quickly just kind of look at him from the back here, does not bend at all. It's just kind of molded there in place. But the one thing that he did have that was pretty cool was you could move the mouth, which obviously you saw there at the beginning. There's a little part here on his little scale or bump back here, and that would allow you to just move his jaw, so you can make him crunch Star Wars figures pretty easily. And let's kind of take a look in here at him. I think the detail on him was pretty good, for at the time. And there you go. He looks like the Rancor Monster from the movie. He's got his big ugly face there. Obviously mine, again, it's old and beat up, so the paint's kind of chipping off here, but still in pretty good shape. So let's show off his little mouth gimmick there. And I like his little beady eyes there. Kind of silly looking. And if you look up in here, he's got some little ears molded in there. But let's kind of go back out. So yeah, I got a G.I. Joe figure here, which are roughly the same scale as Star Wars figures, and I think you could pretty much have him hold the figures here in his hands. They should fit in there, like something like this. So he could hold the figures, oh no, help me. And you could have him kind of come up here to his mouth and, make him crunch on the figures. Arrgh. So yeah, it was kind of cool to have, especially if you had him and the Jabba the Hutt figure and his little throne and playset thing. That was kind of cool. Those are kind of like the two that you kind of had to get. I had both of them as a kid, and those are like the two figures that I really wanted from the Star Wars universe. But anyways, yeah, this guy here is just, again, a big hunk of plastic, really. I'm not sure how much this guy goes for on, like, say, eBay or whatever. I've never really looked into getting him since I still got my original one here. But I would think you could probably get him for a decent price. I don't think he costs that much. And I know they not reissued, but they did a newer version of this guy that's got a lot more articulation and paint apps and detail. But I still kind of like this original one better. I think the newer version of him, they kind of made him look more like I think it was like the remastered edition with the CG, Rancor Monster. It wasn't this guy here, which was I believe it was just like a miniature puppet that they used in the original one. But I like the look of this one better than the more modern version of him. I think he just looks better. But anyways, I think this is a cool little toy to have. If you're a Star Wars fan, you'll probably want to have it. Which one to get, it's really up to you if you want to get this original one or, again, the remake one, which is probably cheaper. That's really up to you. Depends on how badly you want it. But But anyways, I think I'll wrap it up here with my look at the Star Wars Return of the Jedi Rancor Monster.